All right, guys, so we are going to put my PTO seals in, and I'm going to do the dual seal method. I'll make use of the drawbar right here. And I've got two seals. Got a little bit of my sealant that I'm just going to put a tiny bit where I want these two to go in here. All right. Got that. Got my seal driver. Got the new seal. Let's just get it kind of lined up. Got our little hammer. Oh, just start for me. All right. All right, that settled in there quite nicely. And I think, yep, I can actually take that in just a little bit more, and I'm going to, because you guys are right, there's a little bit of a lip right back there. And I think I'll use my seal driver as a gauge. I can get that nice and square. A little bit more right there. Good. There. Now I got that one all the way around. Okay. So I don't want it to rust in here. I'm going to take my grease gun. Oh, son of a... Yep. We're not going to talk about whose fault that is, because, yeah, that's my own fault. There we go. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, come on. You're telling me I missed that whole thing. Yeah, you're right. I did. So there is a full load of grease in there to protect that spring from rusting. Now we take our second one. And we're going to do the same thing with it. Come on. All right. There. Used my seal driver as a gauge all the way around to make sure I got it square. Now I'm just going to fill that area up in there with grease. And that should protect the dual seals, in theory. I think I've got plenty of grease in there now. Yeah, okay. You're in good shape right there. One last feel. Let's get you up here. So there is a line right there that I emery clothed a lot out of. But I moved that seal back a little further, and I moved this one in. So I'm actually going to try to seal. We're going to try to seal on this part right here. Where this line is, I push the seal back just a little bit. So that ought to help us out. We're going to take our sealant here. Not get too crazy. All right. There we go. We got our gasket on. Yep. Okay. Nice and easy. We hope. Number one. Number two. Oh, you're kidding me. Well, where did I put my socket? All right. Well, now that I found my wrench, I can get this finished up. So there we go. We got that seal pushed a little back beyond. You can see where that lip was. So we pushed it a little farther in. We pushed the other one a little farther towards us. And we have sealing action both ways. And I know you guys thought my shaft was pretty rough shape, but my Nicholson file that was my grandfather's is still one hell of a cutting file. And it has done more work than I'll probably ever put it through. So anyway, we'll move on to the next thing here. Okay guys, so I had a leak on this valve tappet guide gasket, and it proved to be a pretty bad one. So I decided that instead of just half-assing it, sorry YouTube, we would go ahead and pull this side of the engine apart and get it cleaned up and put back together. And that's what we're going to do. And I figure since I'm this close, I might as well pop this piece off. Since I have this gasket, go ahead and replace it. And again, I have to say to the viewer that said, you're going to end up taking that whole thing apart. Dude, I owe you 2 beers. That's all there is to it. On the positive note, the stuff that I have found once digging into things kind of needed done anyway. I mean, this was leaking pretty bad right back along here behind the oil filter, and I probably should have done it earlier, but I was just wondering if it was even going to run at the time. Oh, that is kind of nasty. Look at that. I could use a cleaning regardless. And that gasket wasn't much anyway, so we'll get that all cleaned up. I'm hoping this is drained back into the case enough that there's not a lot of oil in there. You know, I told myself when I bought this, I was just going to part it out. I just wanted the wide front end. That was it. And look at where I'm at now. Regardless, I think it's too neat to part out because it is a wartime tractor. Particularly the 1943. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm going to take and scrape this, clean this, give this a good wire brushing. You guys don't need to see all of that. You know what it's like. Basically going to tuck it on the drill and get to work. I'll bring you back when it looks a little better.